Excuse me, Blackie. Are you lost?
No, ma'am. I own the place.
The quiet of Harbor and Smith Ink Bank's lobby shattered with a scream. Well, not literally yet, but tension hung thick in the air. Polished marble floors reflected chandeliers that gleamed like stolen diamonds. Receptionists moved with a detached elegance, trained to notice everything but the unexpected. At precisely 8:47 a.m., the glass doors opened and in strolled James Carter. A black young man, hoodie zipped, worn jeans, sneakers that had seen better days. But his calm confidence made him almost invisible. To the suits milling about, he might as well have been part of the decor. "Delivery?" the receptionist asked, voice dipped in polite dismissal. James smiled, not the corporate mask everyone else wore, but a genuine curve of reassurance. "No delivery, I'm headed to the executive floor." Her eyes darted between his face and hoodie, as if trying to solve a puzzle she wasn't equipped for. "Do you have an appointment?" she pressed. "Nope. I'll wait." Cue dramatic music, because this was where the rules were about to bend. Security approached, their posture rigid, authority rehearsed. "Sir, delivery entrance is on the side. This lobby is for clients and executive access only." James leaned casually against a bench. "I'm visiting. Name's James Carter," she typed furiously. "Not in the system. No appointment." The guard's voice sharpened. "I'll need you to step outside until you're cleared." James reached into his hoodie, but not for ID. He pulled out his phone and murmured, almost playfully, "I'll just wait here. I have some time." What they didn't know, James Carter wasn't just a visitor. He was the new owner. Valor Holdings had closed the acquisition 6 days earlier, but unlike the usual champagne and press announcement billionaires, James wanted to witness the raw truth firsthand. And the truth was about to make the suits squirm. After 10 minutes of awkward staring, the elevator chimed, and out stepped the villain of this story, Greg Langford. Harvard-educated, suit-proud, the kind of boss that makes your skin crawl. He ignored James until the receptionist finally spoke. "Mr. Langford, someone's here. James Carter." Greg squinted at him, condescension dripping. "Ah, you must be lost. We don't do walk-ins." James's calm response cut through like steel. "I'm exactly where I need to be." James Carter didn't rush, didn't demand respect. He simply observed. Every polished hallway, every glass-walled conference room became a window into a corporate world designed to exclude. He noticed how black employees were cut off mid-sentence with polite dismissals, phrases like, "let's keep it tight," or "we'll move past that," and how women's ideas only gained traction when repeated by men in tailored suits. The executive circle was a bubble of familiar faces, white, male, and carefully curated, led by Greg Langford. Then he saw her, Monica Rhee. Brilliant, precise, early 30s, natural curls held in check, notebooks overflowing with insights. She moved quietly but commanded attention when she spoke. James first noticed her in a strategy meeting he'd attended under an alias. Monica dismantled a shipping bottleneck with such surgical efficiency it made him lean forward, barely containing his admiration. But the room's reaction was predictable. Todd, her manager, delivered the corporate death sentence. "Let's circle back later, probably a simpler fix." Monica didn't argue. She let her solution fade into oblivion, swallowed by the hierarchy. Later, James found her in the break room, pouring coffee that had clearly been reheated one too many times. "Heard your logistics model this morning," he said. She turned, surprised. "You were in there?" "Back corner," he replied. "They called me Jacob. Long story." Her laugh, real, unfiltered, was the first human warmth he'd experienced in that building. But the explanation cut deep. "Why shoot it down?" she asked. Her answer hit like a punch. "Because it wasn't their idea. And because I don't look like I belong in the room that makes decisions." 5 years, 3 men she trained now outranked her. James studied her weary, unbroken expression. "Yeah," he said quietly. "I'm seeing a pattern." Have you ever felt invisible in a room full of power? Drop a comment if you relate. James smiled, but his eyes stayed sharp. He wasn't here to play games. He was here to see the system as it truly was and to decide how to rewrite it. Greg Langford had begun noticing the hoodie guy wasn't ordinary. Something about the way James moved through the building, slipping past guards, asking precise questions, triggered alarms in Greg's ego. Paranoid executives don't wait. They strike first. He called Charles Donnelly, head of IT. "Run the scan. Tell me everything." The report landed like a bomb. James had accessed personnel files, logistics audits, even acquisition data, all through a hidden admin account. Not browsing, methodical, surgical. Greg's stomach dropped. Print everything. Flag HR. We may have a breach, he ordered, already plotting Monica's downfall as collateral damage. The next morning, Monica's world shifted. She arrived at work to find her name missing from recurring operations meetings. HR called her aside. Kelsey, nervous and uncertain, whispered, "Greg flagged a concern yesterday, unauthorized data sharing." Monica froze. "Excuse me, I didn't do anything." Her voice trembled as the shadow of accusation fell. By the vending machine, James saw her storming past cubicles, barely controlled fury in her stride. "What happened?" he asked calmly. She clenched her fists. "You might have just cost me my job. HR treated me like a criminal, all because Greg Langford flagged me. I didn't leak anything." James's jaw tightened. "It doesn't matter what they think. Perception is enough. I'll fix this." Monica laughed bitterly. "Fix it? You haven't even told me who you are." James paused, choosing words carefully. "I'm someone who came here to change this place." She looked at him, weighing the gravity. "Whatever this is, they know you don't belong here." He nodded subtly, eyes unreadable. Behind every polished wall, every framed certificate, the injustice was clear. Monica had spent years teaching men who now outranked her, yet she remained unrecognized. James typed a quick message into his phone, observed pattern of silencing non-white staff. Track Monica's project outcome FDW05-0, potential culture audit needed. Greg, meanwhile, sensed his control slipping. James' quiet presence unnerved him. Every move in the office now felt like a calculated game, and Greg had no idea he was 3 moves behind. Have you ever witnessed someone brilliant being silenced unfairly? Comment below. Smash that like button if you're ready to see justice served. Monday morning arrived, and James Carter was no longer the mysterious hoodie in the lobby. The marble floors, the polished chandeliers, they all bore witness to a new reality. He strode in, tailored navy suit flanked by 2 senior partners from Valor Holdings. The receptionist, once indifferent, dropped her pen. The security guard straightened, unsure whether to speak. James didn't need recognition. His badge bore the power he already held. Upstairs, the quarterly shareholders meeting buzzed. Greg Langford stood at the front, radiating false confidence, delivering buzzword-heavy updates on agile restructuring and operational efficiency. Then the doors opened. Heads turned. Silence spread. James entered calmly, nodding to the room before pulling out the chair Greg had occupied moments earlier. "Ah, Mr. Carter." Greg forced a smile, too tight to be convincing. "I believe it's time for introductions," James said evenly. The lead partner from Valor Holdings cleared his throat. "Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to formally introduce James Carter, majority stakeholder in Harbor and Smith, effective immediately." Murmurs rippled through the room. James's voice was steady as rock. "I appreciate you keeping the lights on while I observed, but I saw how decisions were made, who got heard, who was erased. The patterns were clear." Greg's smile faltered. The silence was deafening. James didn't need to raise his voice. "I'm not here for drama, I'm here for change. The culture at this company will shift, or the leadership will." Greg forced fake friendliness. Of course. James's gaze said it all. As the meeting ended, Greg caught James by the elevator. "You caught us off guard," he said. James' reply cut sharper than any boardroom speech. "I caught you as you are. I'm not here to embarrass you. I'm here to build something better. Stand in my way, and I'll remove the obstacles." Behind closed doors, Greg conspired with his ally Gavin Blake, delay, scrub, redirect, make James' initiatives fail, then spin his actions as favoritism. But they didn't know James had already played 3 steps ahead. Every move they made, every manipulated file, they were cataloged. Monica's name was clear, her work intact, her vindication near. Have you ever seen someone quietly outsmart a system built against them? The grand ballroom at Harbor and Smith buzzed with anticipation. Investors, media, and board members filled the space, expecting a routine quarterly review. Greg Langford stood confidently near the front, rehearsed charm in place. "The company has experienced transition, recalibration, and renewal. Through it all, we've upheld our integrity." His words froze mid-sentence. A voice rang out from the back. "Except that's not true." All eyes turned. James Carter walked calmly down the aisle, Monica at his side, carrying the evidence folder and remote marked Exhibit A. Greg's face drained of color. James reached the stage, looked Greg in the eye, then addressed the room. My name is James Carter. I'm the majority stakeholder of Harbor and Smith. What you've been told in recent weeks has been carefully manipulated. The screen behind them flickered to life. Emails, audit logs, timestamps, internal messages, all irrefutable. James pointed to one, a memo from Greg plotting to delay reforms, manipulate votes, and frame Monica. Click. Surveillance footage showed Greg mocking James's hoodie, scheming against Monica. The room was silent. James' voice softened, but every word landed with impact. They didn't just try to embarrass me. They tried to erase people like Monica, those who show up, who innovate, who contribute every day, only to be silenced. He turned to Greg. You feared accountability, not me. Greg stammered. The board watched, eyes cold and deliberate. Monica stepped forward, handing over verified reports. The evidence was clear. Justice was swift. Chairwoman Ruth Ellis rose, voice cutting through the tension. Mr. Langford, step away from the microphone. Immediate termination pending legal review. Unanimous. Security escorted Greg out. James faced the room. No, Greg, the company just stopped losing. 6 months later, Harbor and Smith looked the same outside, but inside, everything had changed. Monica now led strategic innovation. The leadership program displayed every color, gender, and background. James had kept his word, not just about justice, but about integrity. The quiet ones, the underestimated, had won. On the rooftop, city skyline behind them, Monica asked, "Why not fight back sooner?" James smiled. They expected noise. Truth only needs the right moment. She laughed through tears. Dignity walks in wearing anything, even a hoodie. He nodded. From the other side of silence, toss stories. And just like that, the world knew. Courage, persistence, and integrity always win. Comment Hoodie CEO if this story gave you chills. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story, because truth only needs the right moment to shine.